Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, welcome back to another episode of The Cave Podcast, previously known as the Righteous and Rich Podcast. As you guys know, in this podcast, I discuss with my panel all things related to Muslim businesses and Muslim economies. The whole idea is, how do you take your money out of the West and put it inside of these Islamic economies and just make more of that money, right? So we discussed entrepreneurship, startups, new laws and regulations that are being passed, and all sorts of interesting stuff. So today's episode actually is very interesting. We've got a lot to discuss. Number one, we're going to talk about the massive influx of Muslim CEOs and founders of massive companies that have come out against Sequoia Capital after the Islamophobic statement of one of its partners. We're going to talk about the Syrian president, Ahmed Ashara, going all the way over to visit Trump in the White House, and how they're looking to actually repeal the sanctions that they had put on Syria before his visit even actually takes place. And we're going to talk about how certain marketing companies in the US that are responsible for certain presidents actually coming into power, or not responsible, but aided certain presidents coming into power, like Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, how they are now currently helping to whitewash the image of the Zionist regime in light of his genocide, and how that's connected to some of the things that are taking place in the UK and Europe with regards to the Islamophobia that's uprising. And we're going to talk about Pakistan and Bangladesh attempting to revive economic talks after 2 decades. We're going to talk about how Elon Musk has got $1 trillion payday coming soon, apparently, if he meets his targets. And then this guy, Mr. Mamdani, is he a friend or is he a foe? Connected to the whole Mamdani case. So there's a guy called Sean Maguire, who's one of the partners at Sequoia Capital, a VC fund, right?
One of the largest.
Yeah, one of the largest biggest
worldwide. And basically he came out and said some statements that were seen as Islamophobic, right? So this happened a while ago, but are you guys aware that the COO was a Muslim lady?
She quit.
She resigned, yeah. She didn't make public at the time why she quit. It's come out now that she quit because of this un-Islamic sentiment in Sequoia Capital. So now there's a letter it's funny, there's a website called SeanMaguire.fyi, basically an open letter to the leadership of Sequoia Capital from the global founder community. And the whole idea is that they basically want the leadership of Sequoia Capital to recognize this and to basically make amends, right? And the interesting part here is who it's signed by. It's signed by some very big names, man. So you've got Hussam Arab, who's the co-founder and CEO of Tabi. You've got Mudassir Sheikha, who's the co-founder and CEO of Kareem.
Yeah.
You've got non-Muslims. I'm just reading out the Muslim names. Faraz Khalid, the CEO of Noon. You've got Abdullah Ilyas, co-founder of Kareem. Abdul Majid, co-founder of Tamara and CEO of Tamara. But you got some big names here, man. You've even got, Muz, which obviously don't download Muz. Download a more halal. But you got him on there, mashallah, tabarakallah. Yeah, Club, QLUB.
Yeah.
Yeah, the app that's it.
The QR, yeah.
Yeah, bro. So you got Rabi'a Atiyah, the CEO of Bait.com. Some big names, man. And it just goes on and on and on. Dubizzle, the CEO of Dubizzle. What message is it sending out to the world, man? This letter, because something like this, I don't think would have been like a reality a couple of years ago. What do you think, Sam? What message is it sending out to the world when these big CEOs come together to condemn someone at Sequoia Capital?
So my counter question is, Sheikh, what is more effective? These heavy names, founders and CEOs of companies that are actually adding value to the humanity, coming together, writing an open letter, or thousands of people protesting? We have no real value to add to society. Sheikh. So the economic impact that you can create will always have a louder voice. Because if you hurt someone's pocket, or if you help someone's pocket, that goes directly to their stomach and everything else, right? So if you can hurt the pocket or help the pocket, that will always be more impactful. So when these CEOs write a civilized letter 1,000 plus, I saw.
Yeah, 1,000
Yeah,
plus.
founders, CEOs, co-founders, CEOs, C-suite executives of billion-dollar brands, and most of them are Muslim names. To me, that's like one of the most powerful way to protest than actually going to the street, and nobody cares about your opinion.
Because like even when it comes to founders,
Yep.
you know, like of startups at this level, VCs are competing for them.
Of course.
So VCs want. You know, it's interesting. I was talking to brother Umar Suleiman with a U from Wahid Invest.
Yep.
Not with the O, with the U. And he mentioned that he'd done a study of the top 10,000 companies in the world. And he mentioned there was only one of them that was Muslim owned. But 33% of the funding that came for those 10,000 companies came from the pockets of Muslims. Do you know what I'm saying? So Muslims have a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? And now we're starting to catch up on the founder side of things, on the business side of things as well. Like there are businesses that are now starting to really come out and really do great things. And there's a huge demand for these guys to kind of want to invest in these startups that are coming from Muslims.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? But now these guys are in a position where everyone in this region, and Muslims in general, they've turned them off. They've turned them off. So by them not being able to invest in groundbreaking startup technologies puts them in a very, very difficult situation. Do you know what I'm saying? And it also sends a message to these other VC funds and brands, whatever have you, that, listen, if you're not Muslim friendly, if you're not pro-Palestinian, we've got an issue with you.
You don't need more contacts. You need the right contacts. One brother was running a fast food franchise in the UK. When he joined our network, in 15 minutes, we connected him to the CEO of one of the biggest halal food chains in the country for mentorship. Another brother wanted elite AI mentorship for his son. Within 3 minutes, he was speaking with a consultant trusted by the region's top companies. This is not a Rolodex that you can buy, akhi. These are connections you only get when you're inside the cave. And if you're a 7 to 9 figure Muslim entrepreneur or top level corporate executive or an investor, you can click the link below to apply to join.
And they're missing out on so many opportunities if they are anti-Muslim this way. This is so powerful. Like you said, it wouldn't have been possible even a few years ago.
Why is it possible that...
So I think the public perception, especially amongst the Gen Z has changed. Social media and, the technology today has democratized information. And the old traditional media, the public has lost trust in that, and they're now a lot more wiser. So previously, if you wanted to know what's happening in the world, you would go to CNN, BBC, etc., and you'd get a version of events, and you thought that was the truth. Today, you just go onto your phone, look at Twitter, you look at various Telegram groups, etc., and you get up-to-date, on-the-ground information that's totally, adverse to the narrative being pushed on big media. So people are now aware of the truth. Muslim and non-Muslim perception has changed. But if I could add on to that, so I would say that's why this pushback. Do I believe there would be change at that level? No. If you trace the money and where it comes from, you'd understand what I'm saying. They're not going to apologize. And there's nothing that's going to change. Muslims, no, I mean, you can either knock your head on a brick wall and, nothing's, just waste your efforts, or you could actually do something that's going to change the game. And you mentioned an important or a very interesting stat that 33% of these businesses are funded by Muslims. And now I believe the Muslim world has the capital, the technology, the skill set and capability to actually change the world for the better. They should align and create alternate models. So you're now seeing a lot of Muslim-backed funds, Muslim-backed VCs. That's great. But I think a lot more needs to be done in the space where Muslim entrepreneurs or faith entrepreneurs are backed, or businesses of value. If you look at Silicon Valley for what it is, there's certainly a bias, and that directly impacts which companies become successful, which products get publicized, which products get pushed. And by default, as Muslims, we lose out. So we need to create alternate solutions, alternate avenues. And I see the game changing when a collaborative is formed between the Muslims and faith aligned. I mean, it doesn't have to be only Muslims, but those that are against this sort of thing.
You bring up an interesting point here, right? So I wonder, is it even really possible, or I shouldn't say possible because it's possible, inshallah, but is it worthwhile focusing on doing this in the West? I'll tell you where I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So there is not a single C-suite executive in Silicon Valley that's a Muslim. There's not a single.
Really?
Yeah, I got inside information today.
Wow.
So
That's surprising.
Yeah, there's an organization in
Not
America.
surprising.
It is surprising.
So who was that sister that left Microsoft?
Microsoft, I'm not sure. I know the one that left OpenAI.
No, there's a sister?
I don't know if she's classes of. I think she's half Lebanese.
There's a sister, I forget her name, but there's a sister who walked out on...
Oh, yes. Because of the Palantir things, huh?
I can't remember the specifics. But basically, so in response to that, there's a network that's formed with Muslims. So so you've got the C-suite, and you've got the level of executives directly below. There's a lot of Muslims at that level. A lot of Muslims, but there's not a single Muslim in a reputable Silicon Valley company that's at the C-suite level.
So hard to believe.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy.
There's many Muslims in Silicon
There's
Valley.
many, right? But not at the C-suite level.
What about the Replit founder?
Is that Silicon Valley?
Yeah, of course. He's the founder of Replit. He's Palestinian.
Replit, the AI that makes the app.
Replit, yeah.
No code AI.
No coding app. Yeah.
And he was pivotal in the whole no-code thing.
So then maybe it's not an I'm sure it's not an up-to-date stat.
The point is if there is minimal.
It's very, very minimal, right?
Yeah.
And it's not influential.
It's not
This is the
influential.
key.
So the problem here is that then you don't really make the decisions. And a lot of these apps, they are not Muslim friendly. Right? Some of them are harmful towards Muslims.
Exactly.
So what they're trying to do is create a situation, they're trying to create a network with these executives, how they can basically work up the level into the C-suite and actually start, basically leveraging off of each other insights and knowledge to be able to climb up the ladder and then have an impact in those technologies that they work for to become more Muslim friendly or less harmful towards Muslims. But the thing is, if you come over here, for example, to the GCC, bro, they're all Muslims.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to do that.
صح.
As in, I understand that attempt and I'm not knocking it. There's khair in it, but just come over here. As I just read, all these big companies, the names are all Muslims, and they're clearly
Phenomenal companies.
And they're pro the cause. You know what I'm saying?
They are, but when you look at the C-suite level, just take something as simple as your salary.
Yeah.
The base salary is not going to be anywhere close. Even at these $1 billion GCC companies, that's not the going rate. So why would I pay you $500,000
Yeah, you're right.
for this job? So why would I leave Silicon Valley with my security, big house, family, supporting, my community? That's going to be difficult. So it's a difficult sell. Not that it's not happening.
You're right.
But what I feel like is you're just playing within a rigged game. It's already rigged. So there's no point trying to just, fundamentally think that you can change it. It's already rigged. Even a conversation with Sam Altman, who I didn't even realize was he was Jewish. So he doesn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't practice or anything. He doesn't identify, but he is Jewish essentially. Anyway, so he was being questioned about what do you think about ChatGPT. So some countries allow euthanasia and some countries don't. So would you stop it? And he was having a hard time because there's no moral compass. So he was thinking, we can probably make it, fine in this jurisdiction and not fine in this because there's no moral
compass
basis. So this is where the issues are, and we need to just play our own game, start our own ecosystem. This is the only way.
Okay, but then let me just push back on you a little bit, yeah? So recently, Trump just allowed, I think, 60,000 NVIDIA chips to come into the region.
Into this region. Not the same chips that they gain in the US.
Yes.
So it's not the same, right?
It's a B.
Those are like Tomahawk missiles of AI chips.
Okay, so what you're saying is just going to add to my point. I'm saying if these chips are still US owned, right? It's like they're saying, here's the key, but the lock is still US.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They still hold the infrastructures, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done then if that's the case, man. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to break free.
It's not going to be easy. It's going to hurt.
If
And
I
that's
can
the thing.
add to that, Sheikh, to your point, look, and I think there would be there'd be some short and medium term pain.
Yes.
Right. To Wadah's point, salaries would be dropped, but then cost of living here is a lot lower, right? So your standard of living may not really change. You'd probably be a lot safer. And
That's
more,
very true.
Yeah.
The quality of life is better as well.
You'd have a
Exactly.
lot better, much better quality of life. And definitely, even those that I certainly see it coming, if there's some level of success in creating this alternate ecosystem, then the top companies and the top CEOs would be targeted.
There you
Right? So you may have sanctions, you may have different chips being withheld.
Exactly, yeah.
So they're going
Some
to
politics,
certainly bully you around.
go. 100%.
So there would be short and medium term pain, but it's the only method, it's the most effective method to break truly free. And but it would take a long time and a lot of pain.
Exactly. And I don't believe we're ready. As a ummah, there's a lot of talk. But when it comes to that pain, are we ready for that? Because it's going to be painful.
Look, I'll tell you something, yeah. This reminds me of a story Brother Wa'il told myself and Abu Bakr. So he manages a fund. In fact, some of the companies we just mentioned here, Q Club, and he's invested in them, and he was one of the earliest employees at Kareem, and he was head of or VP of product. Yeah. So he mentioned that there was a particular problem that they were trying to solve with like the maps and everything, and they needed to get the guys from Google, like the engineers from Google, to basically come over here, and these other big Silicon Valley companies. And he was like, we couldn't afford to pay them the salaries that they're already being given, because so we thought long and hard about how to solve the problem. And he was like, it was the way we got them was so effective that you could be a Muslim fasiq, a Muslim who drinks alcohol, and you'd give in as well. What do you think it was?
Wow.
No idea.
No idea, Sheikh.
So they targeted guys that were from this region or Muslim world originally, that went there and said, hey, listen, you've had your fun. Your parents are old.
Wow.
They're going to die soon. Come back.
I don't know if that's ethical.
Wow.
That sounds...
But they,
That's an interesting angle.
he said, bro,
torturing.
every single...
Subhanallah, they came. And in the long run, they benefited,
They
I'm sure.
benefited, bro. Kareem blew up.
Exactly.
Kareem blew up.
Subhanallah, but that actually works.
So what I'm trying to get at is that if you had to sacrifice that pay package for your parents, can't you do it for Allah?
Taban. Exactly.
Can't you do it for His deen?
This is the disconnect that we need to connect,
Yeah.
with everybody and ourselves. Is that having that connection.
There's many ways to even structuring, even the low pay, the cost of living and everything is low. Plus, people think from America, well, I still have to pay taxes in America with the passport. There's still ways of legally structuring, getting your pay maybe in stock options. So it's a capital gains tax, which is 20% versus paying 63% in California because you're getting as a regular paycheck.
63%.
California with the state tax is 13%, federal, then county, the city, so 63%.
Get out.
Now, if you get the same pay, if you get the same pay in stock options, your capital gains, you only pay 20%, even within America.
Oh, wow.
But, on a US passport, don't you still
double tax? Yeah.
doesn't the double taxation as well as residency based tax?
Yes, so you still pay tax, right? You still pay tax, but there's ways you can structure how you get your money here, so you don't show it as a
To
paycheck
actually
over
move
there.
it out.
You can offset.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't show it as a regular paycheck. So when you disclose it in America, there's ways of disclosing it and structuring it where it shows as a capital gains for you.
Okay, so just become more tax efficient.
Yes, and there's many brothers who are setting it up for our brothers in the, with like I just did mine, complete setup. So we cannot discuss a whole lot publicly, the setup, but it's all legally structured. You're just playing because you cannot be, if you're trying to play the game that Sheikh is talking about, of course we cannot talk about anything illegal here. It's not like you're making $30 and I'm going to hide
efficiency is legal. Tax evasion is illegal.
100%. So that's what we're promoting. That's what we're promoting.
Not evade.
Yes.
100%.
And we have
perfectly legal.
Exactly. And we actually have people setting it up for us and doing things. So
Yeah, just on that note, inside the network, we have actually, that's one of the most useful things members find, right? Is the tax consultants and the lawyers
legal,
that have.
yeah.
By the way, that lawyer is going to come, inshallah, the following Saturday. The one who moved $900 million from Romania for a client here. And the way he set it up, it's completely a tax-free event. So you got paid the whole 900 million dirham, not USD, 900 million dirham, complete tax-free event. The way he structured it and set it up. So inshallah, he's going to come to Peril the following week.
Guy came from Romania. Romanian money.
Romanian money. And he's a famous Muslim person from Romania.
MashaAllah.
Ease your imagination.
We just,
Listen. My mind's going everywhere.
it's not a hard one to clock.
Yeah. Who? Okay. Yes. MashaAllah. Allahumma barik.
So if you guys want to join the network, you can apply the link.
There you go. It might be full by the time.
Wait, let's move on, inshallah. So Zohra Mamdani, unless you're underneath a rock somewhere, this fella, he basically won the position as mayor of New York,
yes.
right? And he's a Muslim. Is this good for us?
To be honest, I'm one of those stuck under the rock. Yeah, so I don't follow US politics. Maybe I should. I don't know, but I have seen obviously the back and forths that have been happening. I feel somewhat that this is kind of by design in a way. I say that because just from going from history, 2008 Obama comes in. What happens? Obama's presidency, I think, was the worst thing for Black America. And he's the first Black president.
Okay.
Similarly, Rishi Sunak, Asian prime minister, they basically use him as a scapegoat, what I believe. A lot of negativity happened. So for me, in politics, when you see somebody that, resembles maybe how we look or, talks in a certain way or like fighting against the Zionist agenda or whatever, to me, I believe it's by design. I don't feel that because politics doesn't work fundamentally. So when you have somebody, playing by their own rules, it's never going to be a win for us. I don't believe.
What do you think, bro? Friend or foe?
I think Sheikh, a few angles here on top of what Brother Wadah said. I think anybody who identifies himself as a Muslim and if he gets attacked for his beliefs, we need to defend the beliefs, So for example, for the enemy, he's identifying himself as a Muslim. Now he's, of course, dancing up and down with LGBTQ, rainbow and all that. Of course, we don't stand with it at all. But for an outsider looking in, this is a man who identifies himself as a Muslim. He's mayor of a city that was like the birthplace of modern day Islamophobia post 9/11, New York City. So if you ask someone in New York City in 2001, when do you see there will be a Muslim mayor in New York City? They would say probably not even 100 years, right? And he's a self-identified Muslim mayor in 24 years since the event. So anytime they attack his beliefs, which they're doing, which they have been doing, I think, of course, it correlates with the other topic. We're going to come to the Sequoia capital. Maybe we can merge it later on, with this topic. Basically, is his name Sean McGuire, right?
Yes.
So he came up with those comments about taqiyya. Many people made fun of him eating with hands. They're coming up with all these random things. One lady, I don't know what she is. I think she's a right wing. I forgot her name. Right wing, just an activist. Probably. I don't think she has a position. She's showing. Look at Amazon is selling these ablution thing in the washroom that you put to wash your feet. Those sink that comes with the built-in where you wash your feet. Right. Amazon is selling those, and if Mamdani becomes the mayor, New York City will have these everywhere. As if that's a bad thing. So for them, they're attacking his self-identification, Muslim belief, right? So I think anytime he gets attacked for his beliefs, which is our beliefs, which is Islamic belief, we need to defend it, right?
No, of course, we defend our beliefs, but I think the scary... Okay, so Imam Ahmed said something, right? He said that a person of bid'ah is more harmful to you than a disbeliever. And before you think, how does it apply to Mamdani? I'll show you the comparison, right? So a person of bid'ah, which is a person who says, I'm a Muslim, but his beliefs are deviant. right? He's a Muslim, but he's got beliefs that will take you to the hellfire, right? This person, he looks like you, he talks like you, he uses the same words that you use. So you have your defenses down, and you're willing to now take from him. And you're willing to now actually be affected by him.
You let your guard down.
You let your guard down.
This is the key.
You see, the right wing enemy is clear. I hate Muslims. I don't like you guys. Get out of my country. There's no confusion. This guy's an enemy. I'm not going to believe what he believes. I'm not going to let him into my heart. But the innovator, the person of bid'ah, you let him into your heart, right? So now, how does that apply here? I'm not calling the guy an innovator, even though, by the way, he's an open Shi'i.
Yeah.
Do you guys know that?
Yeah, Sheikh. Yes, I was going to come to that. Yeah,
he's Mahdi Hassan show.
Yes.
Talking openly about how he's a Shi'i and there's different types of Shi'i. But to me, it's concerning is that this became, like you said, a us versus them issue, right? His mayoracy or his run.
Mayoral, yeah.
What's it called? Mayoral, whatever. Yeah, it became an issue.
Yeah.
That the Muslims fully stood behind. And it's problematic when that's the case. And I don't know if you guys have seen the video, I'll play it to you, but he's then, jumping around with gay people. Like, as in, like, Muslims.
Isn't this the same as what happened with Sadiq Khan?
Yes.
Yeah, what was it? You got to listen to this. One second. One second. No, you missed it. Man goes, are you ready to stand up for trans rights? Are you ready to... I'm saying, now, when this becomes intertwined with people are attacking his deen, so we're going to defend him in the religious context. Now, at the same time, they're attacking him because
we don't defend him. We just defend the deen.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about you.
No, I'm saying...
I'm talking about how talking about how this is something that can confuse the Muslims. Do you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
We're defending a guy, or a guy's deen, a guy for his deen, who's at the same time screaming, are you ready to stand up for trans rights?
And it's not. And I don't feel like it's the time or the place to be defending him for his deen.
Yeah,
that's not the context here.
Yes, Sheikh. That's what I was going to say.
It's out of context. He's not here, trying to be the next imam in a masjid in New York. Yeah, he wants to be part of a system that is reprehensible. Yeah, it's bad in every way for Muslims all around the world. So whether he's Muslim or not, he's still part of the problem.
Yeah, I actually think I think it's a greater problem because what it does is
100%.
It makes Muslims feel like I have to come back to that LGBTQ stuff in order for us to have a position of power. Do you know what I'm saying? I watched the Patrick David podcast saying, but he was like, this is such a big victory for the Muslims. I'm like, bro, this is a loss for us.
Yes.
And not a victory for us.
And that's the funny thing, Sheikh. For all these Islamophobes, like, this is such fun to watch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actual Orthodox Muslims don't even care. Nobody cares. But they think, oh my God, this is it. This is the end of the world because the Muslim is a mayor. And that's what I'm saying. It's just like fun to watch. And Allah plans in a way where it's like, it's very hard to understand Allah's plans because Allah has long-term plans.
My take on it, Sheikh, is that very much like Wadah, I think it's systemized or by design. It is to let the Muslim guard down. And now that you tell me, I was not aware that he was even Shi'i. But if that is, then it's, an attack sort of from within. My take, I don't follow much politics. And the reason for that is, honestly, it doesn't matter whose face is on the poster or who sits in the seat. I think Putin said it very nicely, when he said that I've been through so many sitting US presidents and they all come in with their grand plans. And when they get there, the guys with the blue suits come in and tell them, okay, guy, put your plan. This is actually how it works. And honestly, it doesn't matter who is there. The agenda would be the same, number one. Number two is that the opposition there has to be one winner and one loser. And generally, they would back both parties. They may have a preferred candidate. They would certainly be in bed with the opposition as well. So should he come into power,
you hedge your bets.
The game continues. So
deep state.
That is my take, and hence why I don't follow politics. And Wadah puts it nicely. He says it's a reprehensible system. And I read this somewhere many years ago, and it sticks with me. They say, politicians and diapers need to be changed every so often for the exact same reason.
They're both full of. I like that one.
Barakallah feek. Okay, let's move on to the next story, inshallah. So, Elon Musk. Chatting shit.
Why are you looking at me?
He's your countryman.
It's all American news and he looks at me.
So,
This is my fault. Elon Musk
That's
getting
it.
paid $1 trillion, man.
He's getting $1 trillion paycheck, yeah? If he
It's
meets
a
his
package.
targets.
It's a pay package,
Yep.
but it's $1 trillion pay package.
Why is this an important thing to discuss? Like, why do we care? Why did we on the Cave, Muslim Economies podcast care about this? Why is this relevant to us?
So I did not look in detail, Chef, the pay package, because I was waiting for it to be approved, the board to approve it, because I don't want to look at something while it's just a news, right? But they officially approved it today or yesterday, I forgot. Basically, it's approved. It's a pay package where he put his ambitious goals, and he said, if I achieve these goals, I need to get paid $1 trillion, the pay package, in stock options and all that.
And last
right?
time he did it, he actually achieved the goals that he set for the previous
Yes, and it was not, of course, $1 trillion pay package, but now he increased it to $1 trillion, and the board first said no, then appeal and whatnot. Now they all said yes. And the angle that I wanted to take here, of course, we know Elon Musk with all his geniusness and everything. He is an open enemy to Islam, to the deen, right? He does not like, for whatever reason, he's open supporter of the enemies of Islam, Tommy Robinson and all that things. Now, if that man has $1 trillion in the form of stocks, assets, whatever, it's $1 trillion. Of course, we're not saying it's cash $1 trillion that he goes to the market and spends, but it's $1 trillion, right? What happens then? So this is something, not say worried, but we need to think, like, well, how do we counter that? What were we doing? What's happening? Because openly, he has let his agenda known. And it's not a Muslim-friendly agenda. So I think the first man in modern history will be a trillionaire. Potentially, that will be Elon Musk if he's still alive by then.
I mean, this guy could fund a war.
More, Sheikh. More, right?
And
More.
he made it clear. We can roll the clip. But at the Uniting the Kingdom
March, yeah.
that's
he done a live stream and he basically was like, you need to be ready to fight.
exactly.
And he basically said that sandwich in a conversation where they're attacking Muslims and talking about Muslims. And then he's like, you need to fight. So next thing you know, bro, my man could just be funding a
Easily.
militia.
Easily.
As in...
And Sheikh, now the fight is not even funding the militia. It starts way before that. Like, he owns X.
Yeah.
And then he can own many other media forms like this. And then he can completely control what we see in the algorithm, what people see. Then the brainwashing that happens before the fight.
Yeah.
You might mentally lose the fight before the fight.
You don't have any
because what you see.
fighters. Because the young now, that's what, who's consuming everything. We might be, above it, but then you have that younger generation who's consuming everything, believing what they see. These are potentially who the fighters are.
No, I take back what I said. You're right. He's already funding the fight because it's kinetic warfare. They say if World War III was to happen, it wouldn't necessarily be kinetic, which is basically people shooting each other, guns on guns. There's a different word for it, but like a multifaceted, multi-something war where there's going to be...
So he controls the satellite.
Right.
He can give it.
exactly.
So he's already part of the game. Yeah.
People will hack you, economic
Cyber
sanctions,
warfare,
cyber warfare.
Cyber and info war.
No.
Yes.
Right.
So, Sheikh, there's a couple of lenses or macro risks that I've identified, and I think this ties into that over the next decade. And one of them is exactly this, which is it's twofold. One is cyber warfare, and more the role of big tech, and it also comes to your
100%,
AI evaluation thing.
100%.
Big tech has almost become a state. So previously you've had governments.
Technocracy.
So you had governments. So you would say the US, the UK, and that's the prime minister, and they are shaping the region or they're shaping policy. Big tech, and with the funding and the technology that they have at their disposal, are leveraging that to influence policy, as you said, narrative on the platform, etc. And I see a shift to big tech becoming more and more involved in actual politics.
Yep.
It's currently there, but I think it's going to explode and become at the forefront. I mean, Elon Musk, as an example, he did play a role
Big role in
Yeah.
politics.
politics. Certain individuals.
I don't think Trump would have been president without Elon Musk.
him. Exactly.
100%. I think he's at number one.
He, founded the Dodge sort of.
Yes. The DOGE, yes, Department of Government Efficiency.
Government efficiencies, etc. And literally open-handed, like running a company,
Yes.
Yeah.
chopping things around, moving
Yes.
around, no bureaucracy, no.
He got access to all the data, Sheikh.
Had access to all the data and ran it like a company. And I see more and more of that happening as we go forward. And if you look at Palantir, what the role that they've played,
Yeah.
we know exactly where, and others, Google.
Yes, how?
So
and even in Trump's...
big tech has become, presently they may be indirect enablers of geopolitics or politics, but they would play a much bigger role in your day-to-day and in the politics of the regions going forward.
It makes sense, man. Like, that's why when Trump was inaugurated, he had.
I was
Mark
just going to
Zuckerberg.
mention that.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sheikh. In one frame, it was Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Bezos, Google CEO, and many others. And this is it. This is the technocracy. They call it technocracy, not democracy, not theocracy, literally technocracy, where technology ran state.
So we're all familiar with this. I wouldn't say the theory, but the deep state angle, right?
Yes, yep.
And the ultimate positioning of a single government. And I see big tech and corporate taking that role.
Why corporate?
It's they have access to funds, skills, technology, ammunitions, things like that.
Someone has to administer.
And Sheikh, it already happened. I would say this 2024 election in America was just an experiment. It's already happened. Like 2022, 2023 even. Like all these polling, not the pollings they do, but if you go to like these online betting things, because they bet on who's going to be the next president, and that's actually better than poll because people are actually putting their money and what people's actual sentiment is, right? Trump was losing all the polls, everything, even in 2023. Then Elon Musk decided, okay, we're going to lift the ban on Trump's X. Like we're going to give him access back to X. I have bought Twitter, made it X. We're going to give him access back. Then $250 million donation. Then completely openly campaigning for Trump. Like he single-handedly actually brought Trump back from obscurity. Honestly, he was on obscure after the losing 2020 and all the cases and everything was happening. So that experiment, and then now he launched his own party, America Party. He already launched his own party.
He wants to run for president?
No, he's going to make the president.
He can't be a president.
He's not an American-born citizen.
Yeah, you have to be born in the US. This is why Trump was going against Obama's.
So what's the message here then? That this is.
I think the message is, Sheikh, vote with as Muslims sitting with capital or skill and capability, vote with your wallets, vote with your skills and your capability to Muslim-dominated jurisdictions or Muslim-friendly jurisdictions. And for the rest, middle class or others, vote with your families and your feet and physically move and come to the regions like the GCC, etc.
Such beautifully put. And Sheikh, since you mentioned coming to the region GCC, I want to mention one thing. Today, I got so emotional thinking about it. Friday prayer. I was a little late. For Dubai standard, late is 1 p.m. Even though there's every corner there's masjid, you're still praying outside, mashallah. I love it. If you're, 15 minutes early, it's late, right?
Exactly.
So I'm praying outside, subhanAllah. And so, mashallah, beautiful masjid. There's shade coming outside to a certain part. So I'm like the last person getting the shade. 1 p.m., I have to wait 15 minutes. Khutbah starts. I'm opening up my phone, reading Surat Kahf. There's a brother, like a labor worker, probably Bangladeshi. He's sitting next to me, but like such distance. And like I'm the last one getting the shade. Okay. So he's sitting under the sun. And that too, with such distance, he's just like so hesitant, because of course he's a labor worker. So he's soiled, his clothes is soiled and whatnot. And I'm reading, I can see from the corner of my eyes. So I look at him, I got so emotional. And of course I invited him and have him put in the shade. But I got so emotional thinking, man, when you say you never stepping out of your Detroit house, your mama's basement, and your comfortable IT job in Michigan, right? And from there, you say boycott Dubai, boycott UAE, all this. Did you even think through, by boycotting these countries, whose plate are you making a hole in? Is it the sheikh's plate? Or is it that labor worker's plate? Do you even know who feeds off of these Middle Eastern countries? There is 70% population is Muslim. Out of that 70%, 80% is from your country, from Bangladesh, from India, from Pakistan. 80%.
No.
So you boycotting these places, what happens to these people? Then I had a conversation with him after Jummah. He has an older daughter. He needs to get her married. I asked, are you happy here? He's happy. He's sending money. He started crying. I haven't seen them for 2 years, but I'm going to go next Eid. But we're saving up money. We're going to get my daughter married. So you have never gone outside of your little hole in New York City, London, and Detroit, and you think you can solve world's problems.
Exactly.
You criticize the uncles in the masjid because, they don't know. This is America. You don't complain about the fan. Brother, did you live their life in Bangladesh? Because in Bangladesh, if you don't complain about something, it never gets done. So that's the mentality they come with. Brother, I'm feeling hot. I got to let you know. Otherwise, things won't get done here. So this is the mentality. Did you ever go to Bangladesh? Do you even know how they were raised to act like that? And you are going to solve the world problem by posting status and stories about boycott this, boycott that? Did you even think through what happens after boycotting? So subhanAllah, when you see this, I'm like, what is happening? Wallahi, what is happening? You need to come here and pray with those labor workers under the sun. And then we see your toughness and how many boycotts you do after that.
Exactly.
SubhanAllah.
No one thinks it through. And again, it's by design. Because the time that these powerful people within our ummah are spending kind of chasing their tail on that hedonic treadmill, that's the time when we need them the most.
Yes.
And then before they know it, their kids, khalas, it's washed out. Many advisors that we have, or brothers from the US, especially I would say the US is very it's a consumerism type of
call
place.
them divas. They're like divas. Men are like men divas,
and their distribution is key. When they limit, for example, when they cap the presidential elections, or how much they're allowed to spend, it directly correlates with their votes, because people are just glued to watching and following. So alhamdulillah, things are starting to shift. I feel, or maybe it's just we're in a bubble, alhamdulillah. But we have to vote, as the brother mentioned, we have to vote with our funds, we have to vote with our resources, with all these things, so that for the next generation, we have to think ahead. And I think that's what's been missing. We're always just thinking about the immediate term.
It's easy to complain and
super easy. Exactly.
Boycott and that. Do something about it.
Exactly. And look at history. History always repeats itself.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Arab Springs and all of this, and now you've got it again happening. Whereas that generation of students, whatever, let's protest, and they were telling each other in different countries that. But what happens? The oppression, if there is any, gets worse.
Get worse, yeah.
It's it's frustrating.
I think we need to come out of that thinking of, I need to fix the problem today.
So,
you know what it is? The reason why you come out and protest and you say boycott and you share these statuses and you come with all this emotional kalam is because you think you want to do something today. But the issue is that the problems you're trying to solve
a long time.
Generational.
Yeah, I'm saying they started in 1883, bro.
Exactly.
As in the Zionist project started in 1883.
Exactly.
They didn't get their state until 1947. That's 78 years, bro, of hard work and grind.
But they were ready for it.
And then they spent the next 78 years solidifying those positions.
Exactly.
So my thing is, work towards solving the problem 50 years from now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And then when you have that type of a mindset, suddenly it's wait, you even feel a bit more liberated and a little bit more empowered. Where it's I don't have to go up against this big tyrant. It's like trying to say, you're going to fight Mike Tyson today, you have to knock him out. No, but if you say, listen, you got 10 years.
Exactly.
To get in train and shape. Okay, now I have,
more realistic.
Now I have a chance, I can prepare.
Even
your
immediate term changes. Your immediate term changes. Look at the Chinese as well. The Chinese always have a 20, 30-year plan. They never think about what's happening now, no matter what. And it's always served them well. They're in the backgrounds. People know they dominate, but they don't know how. To us, it feels sudden. But the problem is we have this...
But do you know how that happened? They took a decision one day to say that every home would have a Chinese product.
See?
Oh, really?
It was by design.
But look
Yes.
at that vision. When you had nothing, they were very.
As in
they were
one
zero.
of our homes or their homes?
Every home.
Every home
Theirs and ours.
must have a Chinese product.
Wow.
Look at how powerful that vision is.
It's very
man.
powerful.
When they went from communism, Mao, into kind of like, this semi-capitalist kind of thing, the first thing they did, they went to Japan. Yeah. And they said, listen, like, we need some advice. I think his name was Deng Jiping something, one of those. Sorry to butcher the names, but he went to Japan and at that time there was kind of like friction between Japan and China. But historically, they're close people. So he went there humbly and he said, look, how do we do this? Because Japan was flourishing. They told him basically, you need banks basically. At that time, it was very centralized. Communism. It's like one bank, the Bank of China. That's it. They said, no. You need like thousands of banks. You need capital. That's how you grow an economy. And then that's when it started. I think they, within a few years, they had like 5,000 banks or something. These like regional small banks. Because people are always, even as Muslims, you give us something, we'll work off it.
Yeah.
We're very entrepreneurial kind of backgrounds. We all have, whether it's Pakistan, Sudan, whatever, we're all entrepreneurial.
So the thing is, the entrepreneurial side, that's usually like easier, right? In my view, it's like
It's in your view. It's not for other.
no. I mean, in terms of people to action, right? Because I can go and start a business,
Yes.
but the whole funding side of things, we don't use banks. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where stuff like your private equity fund and stuff like that comes into play. So is that really what Muslims should be like looking to? Like
Yes.
seed these funds or what's?
Muslims should start working on their own money models,
Because the
which
thing is,
a lot of it does exist.
If I could just mention the pain a little bit more, and then you can chime in a bit and then address it a bit more accurately, inshallah. So, if I just throw money at a project, if I just take my wallet out and throw money, like I'm gonna butcher myself.
Yes.
I don't have the experience of what projects to invest in, what startups are likely to kind of grow. So it seems like you got to go to these VC funds, you got to go to these private equity funds, guys are going to manage your money.
Okay.
Is that the case? But then these funds, they don't take anything less than $1 million.
No, but you have a lot of angel networks.
I was just going to mention.
Yeah. So we can be a group of us now. Each of us has $1,000. We put it together, it becomes 4, it becomes 10, it becomes 100.
100%.
Then we go and invest in projects. And it's very easy to set these things up.
Brother Ebrahim can add more to it. Just real quick, Sheikh. Basically, be in the ecosystem where you have someone like Brother Ebrahim. He has invested in multiple companies. He has scaled multiple companies in multiple sectors. So you got to find a way to be in this circle so that you can learn from him, so that you can learn from others, then invest with him. Maybe you're understanding 80% of it, but you're betting on his expertise. He's moving forward with it. And he's, inshallah, understanding 100% of it. You're understanding 80. The other guy's understanding 60. No problem. You have an anchor investor or an anchor operator, vice versa. And, you got to be in the ecosystem to be having those conversations of how to, vet people and whatnot. Sorry, Sheikh, I just wanted to jump in and mention that.
I'll continue, but I'll flip the script to you. As an example, in your project, right? I mean, you wouldn't be adverse to a group of 10 friends coming together under a single entity or an SPV.
Of course not.
Saying, hey, as you mentioned, the angel investor, each one, 50 guys with whatever amount. And as long as that meets your minimum threshold, you take them in, no issues.
And subhanAllah, Dr. Abdul Hamid just did that yesterday.
Really?
Exactly what Sheikh is mentioning.
Okay.
Put his group of doctor friends together from Sharjah, from Dubai, from UK, all doctor group. And they did the same thing.
For the private equity fund or for
the
Majan?
Yes.
Allah better.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
So if someone's wondering where they can connect to Brother Ebrahim and Sam and Dr. Abdul Hamid and Wadah and the others, I hate to sound like an opportunist.
No. So you're the best marketer. You're the best marketer ever, man.
But this is literally why we made our network of 7 to 9 figure Muslim entrepreneurs, investors, and senior corporate executives for this purpose. So, if you're operating at that level, you can apply at the link below. Taib, look, let's move.
Sorry, Sheikh,
Sorry.
just before you move on.
Yes.
So that's a very simple example of how it tackles, but that's not the solution. The solution is what you mentioned. This is a today's or tomorrow's retirement solution. It's a 5-year, 10-year problem fix. What's the 50 or what's the 100-year fix? And more people need to become aligned to that. Those that are successful in their careers need to start mentoring, those that have the experience in the Silicon Valleys of the world or the large companies on the stock exchange or, having scaled different companies need to come together, collaborate as Muslims and start building these ecosystems today, because there's going to be a lot of bumps across the road and it's going to take a long time to get there. But if we start today, we may get there in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. But if we start in 10 years' time, it's
of course,
20 years'
compound.
time.
Yes, it's going to keep getting longer and longer.
Delayed, so.
I just visited the Wahid Invest office in London, right? And I was very impressed, man. Like what these guys have done, Allah Barik, bro. Like they're, is it? Would you call it a hedge fund? Like
No, Sheikh. So they're basically a fintech.
They're fintech,
They're fintech, yeah.
but they invest your money for you.
Yes,
right?
yes. They invest your money for you, but they're ultimately they're a fintech. They invest your money in stocks. They basically filter Sharia compliant stocks, but they have more products coming.
Yeah.
Ultimately, their goal is you're going to have your own debit card backed by a gold ETF.
Yes.
So basically a fintech.
It's a bank, basically.
It's a bank. Yeah.
Good, and that's where my current frustration is with the system. So you look at a lot of the Islamic institutes, whether be they VC funds, etc. I'm not saying all of them, but the vast majority of your capital, yes, it may be invested in a Sharia compliant manner, but the ultimate asset is in a non-Islamic jurisdiction.
Chef's kiss.
It's in a non-Muslim company.
Yeah.
You're
supporting their agenda, basically.
You just
With Muslim money in a Sharia
you're
compliant
taking
fashion.
Muslim money and funding the war against ourselves.
So this comes
And
back.
that has to change.
Exactly.
But that will only change if there are more Muslim companies.
Correct. So the VCs need to start, coming up with their own Y Combinator models, their own acquisition.com models, their own models, and say, okay, there's Muslim brain power. Fine, it's a bit more riskier than, that. But, on some model, start seeding that capital to Muslim founders, Muslim youngsters coming out of tech or university or, leaving corporates and becoming entrepreneurs themselves and start funding that, because, today it links to another one of my worldviews where today everyone says the middle class is eroding. It's the rich and the poor. But why? What I firmly believe is that there's a clear differentiation between builders or producers and consumers. And the middle class,
They consume.
100%. So if you're not producing,
You'll be a consumer.
you lost.
Yeah.
Don't complain.
It's so powerful, man.
You need to, quit your. I'm not saying quit tomorrow, but you need to somehow find a way of starting to give back, be it in your skill. Go to a Muslim company and start giving your skill. Negotiate some equity in return, or go out there into the market and raise some funds. I'm not saying everyone's going to become a business owner, but start voting,
It's
as
a
I said,
muscle.
with your skill or your capital or your feet, but into an ecosystem that's going to provide for you into the future.
And the thing is, a lot of the groundwork has already been done. Like, for example, you're familiar with the Roger Bannister principle. This is the guy who ran the 4-minute mile.
Yes.
Like, before him, no one thought it was even possible to do it.
But once he did it, everybody.
Once he did it, like 50 people did it in following a
Subhanallah.
few years after. So it's like, when you look at a company, for example, like Wahid and others, they've done something phenomenal, bro. Like 10 years in the hustle and the grind, bro. Produced a product for the Muslims, the likes of which didn't exist prior, man. that shows you it's possible.
So
They've been hiring guys from JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, bro, that are sitting there on those chairs thinking, this is haram, what I'm doing, bro. I need to make tawbah. And here's an Islamic opportunity,
There's an alternative.
for me to come to. Do you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So it requires someone who's going to be brave enough, bro, to actually have the guts to say, let me do it. Like, I don't mean to bash, but we mentioned Muz earlier, right? And I kind of just shunned it because it's supposed to be a marriage app, but it's not done in accordance to the deen, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And the ones that are done in accordance to the deen, there's just not really a lot of ihsan behind them, bro. I know because I founded one of those. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, subhanAllah, where's the hard work? Where's the ethic? Elon Musk, this guy doesn't sleep, bro.
So
This guy doesn't sleep.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? He doesn't sleep. He puts he exited from PayPal and put all his money into Tesla. So he risked his capital, number one. Number two, and then he didn't sleep, bro. The guy borderline doesn't sleep. He has fits and seizures. I'm not saying you should do that. But
to that
the guy
extent,
has
yeah.
fits and seizures on the floor in front of his staff because the guy don't sleep and take care of his health. I'm not saying do that. But look at the work.
Obsession. Yeah.
But you know what as well is also values have to be aligned. Like like you said, like these middle managers or whatever, it's way too stable. And they're just afraid of that initial period. But that initial period will go really quickly.
Well,
It's a muscle. Like you just
100%.
haven't been to a gym for 6 months, 1 year. That first day back is going to hurt when it's leg day. Yeah. But then within a week or two, you're going to be back in the swing of it and khalas. This is the same thing with entrepreneurship or business ownership. Nobody's born knowing, one. And two, we have something even Elon Musk doesn't have. Look at his relationship with his family. Yeah, his son is a girl and this and we don't have that. We have structure. So we have something more valuable than he does. But what he does as well, he puts pressure on himself. Every business that he has, it's open source. You can take Tesla, schematics, all that is there, ready for you. Go and do it. But who's going to go and do it? You're not ready. The SpaceX rocket, you can do it, open source.
Oh, wow.
Who's doing it? Nobody. Because he's letting you know. And he wants people to come, like with these Chinese automakers. They're putting pressure on him. But it's good pressure, healthy pressure. We need that. With us as Muslims, we feel if there's pressure, no. Let me go get a job quickly.
And plus on top of that, we have Allah, man. At least Allah
What more do you want? Alhamdulillah.
Wadah, this comes. You and I were having a conversation, some time back.
Yes.
That, Sheikh, we can start it in a very small way within the group.
So.
We always say, why some of the other communities, and we know who they are so successful. We complain. But again, let's vote and do something about it. The reason for that success is they support each other. They work with
Are you
each other.
suggesting we make our own VC fund?
I'm not. I'm saying in some shape, form, collaborate. He may have a problem, which you're trying to do in a way. And Alhamdulillah, it is work. But I think just formalize it a bit more where Sam has a solution for his problem. Someone has an idea and they need capital. There are VC funds within the network.
Yeah, I got so many solutions just from the cave. Like, for example, we're hiring a former Goldman Sachs as our chief investment officer for our DIFC fund. Got the contact through the cave. And he's been doing it since 2009 with Goldman Sachs. And now he wants to quit. I'm talking about Brother Atif. Yes. And it's already happening, but it has to be more.
Expand.
Yes.
Without you realizing, maybe, or maybe it was intentional by design. It's happening.
It's happening. And it's a snowball effect. It's a snowball effect.
Fuel to the
It
fire.
definitely was by design.
Yes, Sheikh. I just want to emphasize on one thing Sheikh mentioned, just for people to land it. He mentioned something so powerful. And we could literally have ended the podcast and people, if just remember what he said, is Wahed and all these companies, great. Right? But ultimately what we're doing, we're not producers. That company, we're not producing something for us, right? We're making things efficient for Muslims to participate what others have produced in a Sharia compliant manner, make it streamlined and all that, which is great. Like you said, this is a foundation they have built now, how to get licensing, how to get jurisdiction into all these multiple jurisdictions, multiple countries. Now you can just go to them and ask Brother Umar Sulaiman, how did you do it? And he'll give you the answer. So they have already done the work. We appreciate that. At the end of the day, it's not producing anything new. It's not producing new wealth, new ideas, new creation, new innovation. So that was a very powerful point. We need to do that and then fund that. Yeah.
Presently, you're enriching the opposition.
Yes. Presently, you're enriching the opposition in a Sharia compliant way.
It helps you sleep at night.
Very nice.
Yes. So I just wanted to emphasize what he already mentioned. But,
Barakallahu feek. So with that, let's pivot to the next story. We spent quite a bit of time on that. I think that was healthy. I think it was healthy.
Yeah, it was needed.
So there's been a bit. Are you guys familiar with Stagwell?
Stagwell.
Yeah.
No.
It's a massive marketing company, right? It's a parent company that has a bunch of different companies in the marketing niche underneath it. So it's got a digital marketing company called Assembly Global. Then it's got a PR company. It's got a massive data company, right? Massive data company. They've got like 6-7 different companies like that. And each and every single one of these companies have companies within the different regions of the world. So if we take, for example, Assembly Global, which is the digital marketing one, they've got the North America, they've got Europe, they've got Asia, they've got MENA, and I think that's it, right? So this is a marketing juggernaut. These guys, they handle like the biggest companies in the world, right? The biggest enterprise level companies in the world are their clients. So can you imagine the level of insights that a company like this would have, right? They've got data on everything and everyone. They literally have a data company that's been gathering data on the internet since the early 2000s.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying? So what they'll do is they'll leverage that data and like the PR for like their marketing services and so on and so forth. So anyway, the Mark Penn is his name. He's the CEO of the company. This guy has been involved in like helping people become presidents in the US. And recently it came out that these guys had done a deal with Israel, right? And basically the contract, we can put it on the screen so people can see it, but it's like a PR campaign, right? Which was like, help us to basically cleanse our image on CNN and Fox and so on and so forth. And they paid $600,000 for the job.
Wow.
Now, that's one thing. These guys pro bono, as a gift, decided to do something else, which was to create a report, which they didn't even charge them for. And it's called, it's basically a report to kind of give the Israeli government findings about how to improve their image online.
Play by play.
Yeah. So I'm just going to, and the study has 3 different phases. I'm just going to read to some of the key findings, yeah? And the recommended messages that they are recommending the Israeli government to actually filter down on social media, right? So it says, international attitudes towards Israel and the conflict are consistently worse in Europe than in the United States, particularly in the UK, France, and especially in Spain. So these are the countries you target. France, UK,
and Spain.
Most Europeans support the Palestinians, except in Germany, over Israel.
Wow.
But they do recoil against both Hamas and Iran. So they support Palestinians, but they don't like Hamas, they don't like Iran. 18 to 24-year-olds are uniformly the worst performing group, though attitudes in Spain are across the board negative to Israel. Nearly half or more of all Europeans believe that Palestinians were there first, and solid majorities believe that they had a nation there. But 8 in 10 Europeans nevertheless believe Israel has a right to exist as a nation and the homeland of the Jewish people. They also see the Palestinians as having a right to a state. About half of all Europeans were generally misinformed about the state of Israel as a democracy offering freedom of religion and having rights for women and gays. So push that narrative. Fear of the threat of Islamic jihadism is prevalent throughout Europe, i.e. antagonize that. Understand? Europeans believe that Hamas casualty numbers are accurate and that mostly civilians were killed. They agree with the language of Israel. Anyway, he gives some stuff, right? The part that I want to mention, which is interesting, is they say, based on this data, here are some recommended messages. I.e., this is what you need to invest in. You need to push this message, yeah? We tested 10 animatics, like creatives, and the results reflect much of the survey. The top scoring video message played the actual tape of a Palestinian terrorist reporting to his mother how he had killed Jews, intercut with a hostage connecting terror to Palestinians. This was emotional and moved numbers in its sheer power, i.e., that's the kind of image you need to show. Next in line were animatics, i.e. creatives, that told the story of hostages in their own words and that they went and what they went through at the hands of the Palestinian terrorists, and also introduced radical jihadism and connected it to Palestinians. They were seen as gripping, emotional, and effective. Of course, this would require actual hostages willing to participate, i.e. what they... And it goes on and on and on. And we can put the link to the document below there. In essence, what they're saying is that you need to basically create a narrative where you link Palestinians to radical jihadism, which to them is terrorism, right? And basically, people in Europe already have this fear of jihadism. It's there in the back of their minds. And that will basically turn the tide in your favor. Now, what happens similar time to this coming out? Suddenly, the UK goes crazy over immigration. And there's a study that's come out to show that the UK is now obsessing over immigration more than America. They are actually, America immigration has always been a big deal, right?
Yeah, of course.
In the UK, they have become more obsessive over immigration than America. Bro, overnight.
There was another protest, no? Recently.
All I know is
second...
this whole thing happened overnight. And who's the guy leading it? Tommy Robinson. Who's getting paid from?
صح.
Do you understand? And at the same time, Islamophobia narratives and all that as we push it. I just have a question for the people. When was the last time you saw a video in Gaza? Just billah alik. Over the last couple of weeks, have you seen a video of Gaza pop up once on your algorithm? I haven't.
No.
Oh, at least the last 2 weeks. And the point that I mentioned here, yeah, is that this ties very nicely to what we were just talking about prior, do you understand? Which is that these guys are playing a very, 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 very high level game. Now, just to mention, the CEO of one of these companies that's underneath the Stagwell Group, actually a member of our network, practicing brother,
MashaAllah.
and he left for the sake of Allah. He's handing in his resignation. And over half of his staff is handing in his resignation as well.
With him.
And leaving
Based
with
on
him,
that.
alhamdulillah.
Allahumma
One of those guys is joining the cave as a CMO. We
MashaAllah.
took your guy, broski. Anyway, what I'm trying to get...
That's how we win.
That's how we move. My point is, number one, as an action plan, anyone who's working at that level in any of these broski, leave. Now, first thing, go take your services elsewhere. Bro, it was a big move for him, bro. He had to make... By the way, it wasn't his company. As in, he's dealing with one subset, right?
Yes.
This massive company...
The parent company.
Yeah, parent
One
company
vertical.
outsourced this top one.
Yeah.
He's like, no,
Subhanallah.
all of what we're doing is sending this money up.
Yeah,
like
صح.
me as a CEO, I'm increasing these guys' shares and stock price and so on and so forth. So he left. That's one thing. But what do you guys think of this, man? Like, what's the game plan? When you hear something like that, what's the game
Just
plan?
hammers the point we were having earlier
Yeah.
that we can't have Muslim capital funding the opposition. That's exactly the point. Maybe in a Sharia compliant way, but but that's the problem.
But not just capital, skill as well.
The
Then.
skill as well. So we have to create Muslim alternates. Now, at some point, for the views that we have, and for the things you say, you may get shadow banned, you may get taken away. A lot of the brothers in the community are in the online e-commerce space, etc. I mean, they could get banned, their ads blocked, things like that. They genuinely lose business. It hurts the pocket. So we have to have our own ecosystem, our own platforms. We need alternates that are in our favor. Right now, I mean, the easiest things that one could do, especially for the brothers in that space, is, I mean, your own website. No one's taking it away from you. Your own data of cell phone numbers, your email addresses. You need to work on that. What I've seen with a lot of the brothers is, it's a simple solution. It's paid ads. And,
If they just cut that.
When that tap is shut off,
They own the distribution.
what do you do?
Yeah.
It's not your distribution.
Bro, they turn their own friends off.
There you go.
By the way, inside the cave, we have guys... have guys from their payroll. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that.
Wow.
Consultants.
Yeah.
Hands get shot. Am I allowed to say that?
You have to learn from both sides, from inside out. It has to work.
Maybe not, Sheikh. Maybe.
Maybe dangerous.
Yes.
You know what's crazy about what you said, that report? I was working, out of university.
Just bleep that.
I think
Bleep
it was my first job. I got a job. So I studied oil and gas.
Yeah.
I had no experience in public relations. But I got this job because the previous account manager for BP left. So they just put 2 and 2 and just made 15. Yeah. Like, oil and gas, he can handle the BP account as a kind of like an intern, part-time. Went into this job. I knew nothing about PR. And essentially, I got to the point after about 2 years, I was basically writing these types of reports, and I handled the HSBC MENA. So like Egypt, UAE and Saudi Arabia reports every month. PR reports based exactly like this. So basically, this is how you're looking currently, and this is what we think you should do.
Wow.
And we had 22 markets for just HSBC, and they were paying. This is like years ago. They were paying £1,000 per report per month per market. So just one client, and we had everybody: Sainsbury's, BP, anyone you can think of. We had as a client. And then eventually it got sold, the company, to Kantar Media, who's one of the biggest public relations companies. But it's just so crazy how these reports could be used for
good or bad.
100%. Yeah, but then this is the things that we need in-house, as you said. So this brother come in as CMO, all these. Data is king. We know this. So we need to have that level, playing field. And Allahumma barik, this is what's happening, with the cave and the brothers in it.
As I was reading that, Sheikh, you seem to be moved by, impacted by the level of...
This level is unbelievable, crazy level, right?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And, what just makes me sad, the same points that we repeated, is we're so emotional beings sometimes as Muslims, jumping up and down, going crazy, sharing status, seeing people online and bashing them. Why are you there? Why are you in this country? Boycott this. What are you doing? Where's the strategy? Where is the calmness? Where is the coolness? Yeah, and I think the advice to young brothers who are watching this, first thing is get outside of your country just for traveling. Travel the world. Which Muslim countries have you ever been to? Go to the farmlands. If you're from Pakistan, go to the farmlands of Pakistan, to wherever you're from, Somalia, Bangladesh, wherever you're from, go and meet your people. Ask them. Then the countries you ask to boycott, come to those countries and meet the labor workers that you want to defend the rights of from the US. Actually talk to them. And see what rights you're defending for them.
Exactly. See if they actually want.
They actually want you, and they actually care for you defending the right and what right you're defending. Are they happy? Actually talk to them. Actually talk to the people moving. Explore, see. Then these things will broaden up. Even myself, I was in such a big bubble even in 2021, Sheikh. Good passive income. Everybody knows me in Michigan. Every masjid I walk to, every store I walk to, everybody says, "Oh, Sam." You think you're you have made it. Then you get out of America. Oh my God. You're not even a ant, you're not even an ant, subhanAllah. So we just need to, there's so much going on in the world, and us just not being strategic and sharing things right and left, it's not doing anything.
I also just want to add on to that as an action point. We need our own social media platform.
So
100%.
We need our own social media. If you said that we are living in a technocracy, or we're moving towards that, then that means that basically Elon Musk is the deep state.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg is the deep state.
Sam Altman.
You know what I'm saying? These guys are the deep state. So
do you know where Meta's initial funding came from? Or at some point?
Palantir. The
what's his name? Thiel? Mike Thiel? Something?
Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel.
Maybe we should delete this, but there's a fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Fund.
mad.
It's crazy. His $500,000 became $1 billion.
I was just going to say, most tech companies
today are funded by that same fund.
Google, everybody.
What's it called? It's called
No.
They
have an internal fund.
He doesn't know the name.
Yeah, they have an internal
They
fund.
identify the right sort of potential candidates at campus.
You know what
And
we
they
need,
groomed it.
Sheikh? We need, honestly speaking, you can delete all of this, but
No, I think this is good. This is not bad.
we need, honestly
Really?
speaking,
Just be
listen. We need,
Really?
we need, Sheikh.
Really? Is that deep?
Because Sheikh, when they were doing it, they didn't mention, they didn't talk. So we have to be also strategic
Sir,
with our
we
ideas.
need our own
So,
Wallahi.
if you was in the cave, you would have heard what he said.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There you go.
sorry.
There you go. That's a good one.
It's true, yeah.
Just believe that.
You're
right?
familiar with the concept what's right? Please delete all of this, right?
Just
You're familiar with
believe. If you're in the cave, you would know.
Alright.
Sorry.
who does the background check?
Oh, that's a good
Do
question.
you know who does the back? I 100%.
Of course. Do you know that, by the way?
Just
Do
believe
you
that.
know that?
And
I didn't know that.
it's the game. They're giving you these South American passports, but they're the one who's giving you the passport.
Exactly.
And they're telling you,
You know, even they have an office inside.
Okay, definitely bleep that.
Bro, it's crazy.
Do you? Okay, this certainly I'll tell you off.
Let's all leave now.
Head of the show.
The official version of the please delete this.
Which bit that?
2008.
Yeah.
08. We all know the official version.
So,
I know someone that's seen the check.
you see? It's clear, by the way. You know, all these
Didn't
things that are
come from
happening.
Okay, now I'm actually getting scared. Let's stop joking.
You know what it is? It's all about your appetite. How far are you willing to go? Like, how deep do you want to go?
I just want to conclude this. So what we're saying is,
We need our own.
Own information agencies,
Yes,
own
yes, yes.
Yes.
universities.
I like how you said
own,
information. Smart man.
own,
Infrastructure.
own banking systems,
Sorry.
own infrastructure to raise funds and deploy funds
Sorry.
and nurture talent and groom them to become the leading capital players
Yep.
or technology players or product players
Is that
of
what's
the future.
happening with things like Meda? Because when I went to Saudi, it was super powerful to see that I went to some just like grocery shops, for example, smaller shops.
Meta the card?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The card, like, you know, the gateway. Basically, they were like, "Oh no, sorry, no visa,
Only Meta.
only Meda." I was like,
Man.
"Whoa, that's
Yeah,
powerful."
yeah. You know what? That's interesting. Why is that the key? What
Yeah,
is it?
because
I'm
because
not sure why.
Visa's charging you 2% or whatever. Meda's charging like 0.
One
something.
second. That's so mad. So you're right, because I can never pay with my cards in
I'm like,
Medina.
brother, I have no cash and I don't have Meda.
No,
What
Meda
do I
only.
do? He
So
said,
Meta
"Go
is
cash
their
machine."
Visa. Meta is their Visa.
Exactly.
Merchant
But-
services.
But how long has Visa and MasterCard monopolized this?
Yeah.
And now someone's coming and saying no.
No, brother, Meta.
Yeah. And now the UAE have their own also. I forget the name. UAE have their own coming also.
Yeah, I forgot the name.
So these types of things are the infrastructure that really makes a
Right,
big difference. That's a
okay.
big hit for Visa and
It's a
Master.
big hit,
It's no
yeah.
joke.
But all this takes time, right? Just
It
gotta
takes
give the
time,
country time.
and certainly
And it's
pain.
painful.
It's
Exactly.
painful, right?
It's painful.
And no, and you're not totally independent.
Sah.
So you're still interconnected. So at
Sir.
some point, they can really pressure you where it hurts.
But you know what you have
Hence,
to
You
do?
need to be completely, the old couple of years ago, the whole thing was off grid.
Sah.
We need to be off,
Yeah.
desystemized or
But then people realize
decentralized
there's
or
no
whatever.
such thing currently. You think you're off grid, but you're still on the grid somehow.
Yeah.
But also, what I feel is
He's
important.
thinking, no, I'm off the grid, bro. He's thinking, yeah.
No, but you know what I
Certainly
realized is when you look at Western nations and you look at Eastern nations, in times of war, in times of difficulty, where you see the Western nations, they'll meet like this. The leaders will meet. We're not the ones on the battlefield. Let's talk. Maybe we can come to something. Maybe it could be win-win. Where do you see that in the Muslim world? Doesn't happen. Yeah. Oh, he did this. Oh, he's a non-Muslim. What? Doesn't need to be this way. Even as you said, if I'm transitioning to be off the grid, I don't need to make a wild statement. Oh, I hate this and I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
this. And no, let me do it strategically. That's how my people will win. It's win-win. Yeah. I take it even all the way down to schooling. Like when my kids were in school, they went to a church school. And it was strategic because it was kind of the best of both. Academically, it was amazing. Yeah. And they were conservative. But again, there was the negative was this church. They have to go on Friday. Yeah. But we were able to kind of negotiate how they learnt about subjects or maybe pull them out of some subjects or just because we did it in a nice way. We didn't come and say, we're Muslim, you can't teach them this and X and Y. No, we know where we are. We know how to play the game. Let's play it properly. And that's the same thing. Lobbying in the US, social media companies, I think they have like 82, I think Facebook has maybe like 82 or something like that, lobbyists. Just Facebook. Yeah. Tesla has this, that, openly. All their job every day, they go to these government officials. What do you need? Okay, you need X. Okay, we're going to give you this. But in that bill that's talking about food, yeah, you have to drop in a little, yeah, we have to buy TikTok or whatever, yeah, in something that has nothing to do with it. But that's how it works. So we have to do the same. The UK has the all-party parliamentary groups. Yeah, these are things where people are funding legally, yeah, above board, but we have no clue what's happening, and it's not that expensive to get into these doors.
It's just that we're
just not there.
This is the thing that it's like Muslims are so juvenile in their understanding of the problem, and thus their solutions are so unsophisticated.
It's the same thing with Africa. You know, people always talk about how much people are investing in Africa. Everyone that is investing in Africa, what they took is crazy. Trillions. Yeah. They say, oh, this nation invested billions in Africa this year. What did they take?
Trillions.
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing with Muslims.
On the Africa subject, I mean, we're both from there.
Naam.
The painful point is, yes, today the accusation is made on certain countries profiting or doing business with Africa,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Many countries, not just one particular country. What about the theft of African
Internal.
resources for decades?
Sir, you can take it all the way back to slavery. Africans were profiteering from slavery until today. Yeah, it's
All natural
but
resources
again,
of Africa
it's all by design. All
are
of this is
not
by design. Someone
in the control
comes in,
of Africans.
these parishioners, these whatever missionaries or whatever, they come in, say, no, forget about your tribes. Yeah, this is a church. This is knife and fork. This is whatever, and you know they make you believe, yeah, that you're less than indirectly. So you're always trying to. Even today, I had a call with Kafu. Yeah, I had a call with the COO. I went cold.
The
outreach.
COO?
Yeah, COO.
Oh, wow.
English guy. Yeah, amazing guy. And the way, like, I was approaching other people before this, by the way, yeah, within Kafu, but like less senior. Then I managed to get his email, just a cold email. Hey, let's have a call on Friday. Had a call.
Wow.
We literally, khalas, like first call. He
Close the
said,
deal?
Yeah.
Allahumma barik.
First call.
Allahumma barik.
Arkin?
Yeah, for Arkin.
Allahumma
But
barik.
I'm saying, on the flip side, when I'm trying to deal with like, you know what, this is a Muslim brother. Let me reach out on LinkedIn. Assalamu alaikum. Hey, you know, like there's no, it's crazy.
Why?
I have no idea. Because you know
Yeah,
why?
I've seen that too.
We're fighting to look good for the other guys.
Yeah, the hating is jarring.
It's internal. It's
inferiority
internal.
complex
Yeah, we
is
have
crazy,
this
man.
complete
It
inferiority
comes
complex.
from the point I made last week, and it's or this week through the social media. It's that through Hollywood and social, the whole engineering, we've been programmed to think of ourselves as inferior and to look up to the West as superior. But if you really look at it, the West, most states are actually bankrupt.
Yes. Yeah,
Right.
it's superficial.
Morally
Yes.
and financially.
Yes.
And I mean, if you just go to the basic hygiene, you can take it across any dimension you want.
It's true. You're right. You know, so weird.
It's actually disgusting.
Our civilizations are much older.
We are much more advanced.
Yes.
And
In every
we
way.
should be a lot more proud in what Islam has brought to us.
Look at even when you're talking about the technocrats and all of these companies. These guys physically, they're all inferior. Look at them. Bill Gates, Sam Altman, Mark Zuckerberg. These guys
looking Donnies.
weird.
Mark Zuckerberg is on TRT now, so
Like all of them, Jeff Bezos, they're all getting hench.
Yes.
Why? Because as a man, this is your fitrah. You should be a man. And they only know this once they get money. Yeah, look at Jeff Bezos when he started. The guy looked like a librarian. Yeah, and now they come into our playing field. We're naturally, alhamdulillah, we've been blessed. Yeah, with these types of things. But the problem is, it's like we're playing catch up with the wrong things. By the time we realize that their goals are actually what we have already, it's too late. They've sucked everything from us.
So the story of the wolf. I mean the lion, the lion cub that grew up with the flock of sheep.
Yeah, so,
yes.
Exactly. So this lion cub was abandoned when it was young, and it grew up with a flock of sheep. It acted like a sheep.
Yeah.
Made the
Thought it was
noise
a
of a sheep. And it thought it was a sheep. Until one day it met a fellow lion in the jungle, and it took it and says, "Stupid, I'm a sheep." He says, "But you should be eating those guys." He says, "No ways. I'm,
Honestly,
my brothers."
Yeah.
They're my boys.
So it took it to my voice. So it took it to a pond or a stream and asked it to look at its reflection in the water.
In the
It
water,
says, You definitely look like those guys.
You look more like me.
Yeah.
You are weak kings.
You know, that's
Guru.
an amazing
And he
story.
went back and ate them.
Then he's waiting for that part.
That's like the elephant in the circus, right?
What?
The elephant in the circus. They don't even know because they bring the baby elephants in the circus. And so they never get to even realize the real strength they have.
And this is what
That's
they're
why they
doing.
never destroy the circus.
This
because
is what-
they think it's not possible. They
This
can't
is
do
what
it.
they're doing to us from our
Right.
kids. Yeah, Coco Melon, this little shark, and all this nonsense. Yeah, this is where it starts. So if we don't start early, it's a losing battle.
Barakallah feek, man. This has been, I think, a very motivating discussion for a lot of people, man.
Alhamdulillah.
I just want to pivot to the next story, inshallah, because I think it's also relevant now. Syria,
No,
right? So Syria, obviously, after a decade plus of war, man, is in a tattered state. A lot of the rebuilding that we're talking about, I mean, they don't even have a grid right now. Like they get, I think, 1 hour of electricity a day.
Yeah.
Right, their infrastructure just is gone. So, the President Ahmed Shara, just before his visit to the White House, people inside the government were actually talking about repealing the sanctions even before he arrives. Right, the sanctions that the US had placed on Syria. Sam, why
They have
is-
officially lifted it, by the way.
they've lifted it now?
Yes,
Okay, so
yes.
this was yesterday's news.
Yes,
yeah.
as of today, alhamdulillah, they have lifted all the sanctions.
Okay, so then, okay, fantastic. So,
And Saudi Arabia played the biggest part in making that happen.
really, yeah?
Yes, alhamdulillah.
So why is the USA interested in supporting Syria right now? Like, what's the interest?
I don't know, Sheikh, because it's politics. There's nothing we see on screen is actually what happens.
What do you think?
But definitely, it's leverage. There's cards. Definitely, the region played a big part in convincing America to do this. Like, and we saw when President Trump visited all the GCC countries, they actually, part of the agenda was to lift all the, like Saudi Arabia put big pressure on it. And he mentioned it publicly. I saw that, Crown Prince is, asking me, however Trump talks, basically, I'm going to do it. So Saudi Arabia played a big part. And if you see the countries that are actually playing an active role in rebuilding, it's not Michigan and it's not London and it's not any of these countries that you are boycotting and putting all these things from. It's actually Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and Turkey. Right? Saudi Arabia, I think, pledged $6 billion. UAE pledged $2 billion plus building their metro line. Qatar pledged $4 billion.
Did you build a metro line in Syria?
Yeah, UAE is going to build a metro line for Syria, plus $2 billion and many others. So good things happening. Good things happening in Syria. And this region is supporting it. And I think US lifting the sanctions will open up a lot of other things.
So, is there an opportunity here for us to get involved, like investment opportunities in Syria?
I think now it's at the country level, but when they set up the infrastructure and when they need what Sheikh always mentioned, the capital, the skills, the competence, and your feet, labor, competence, construction, capital, when they privatize it, when they have it secured, 100%, I think, Sheikh, 100%.
You know, they actually sent one of our guys from the network. Actually, they're sending him in December. They sent one of his team members in August and sending him in December to basically scout on the ground potential technology startups.
Yes, they need skilled
Investing.
people. They need
Yeah.
companies. Absolutely, Sheikh.
So things are looking positive in that regard.
Very, very,
sure,
very
for
positive,
sure.
inshallah.
Jameel. On that note, let's move to Pakistan and Bangladesh.
Oh,
We're friends.
more juicier conversation.
So look, they obviously Pakistan and Bangladesh have had their issues, right? Unfortunately, primarily, obviously, India got involved and created that rift. But now, alhamdulillah, in recent times, change in government, whatnot, brothers are coming back together.
alhamdulillah.
Come back together. We're coming back together.
Inshallah, always.
Brothers, alhamdulillah. What's your take on this, man? What do you think the future of Pakistan Bangladesh looks like?
I think Sheikh, Pakistan is superior in many things, and Bangladesh has also many things. So there is good mutual beneficial relationship that can be established. So they established something called Knowledge Corridor. I think they just finalized it last month.
Interesting. What's that?
Knowledge Corridor will be few components, but Pakistan will give. They allocated certain number of scholarships that will be given specifically to Bangladeshi technical students, like IT, software, technology, engineering, to go to Pakistan and study for free, because this is what Pakistan is excelling in, the education, right? And vice versa. I forgot exactly what Bangladesh will provide, but basically they're creating this knowledge corridor, even some trade deals they're going to do, and a few other things, but primarily university, sharing knowledge, sharing their resources. So I think it's a great step. There were 6 things they signed up for, but it's a great step. It's and I think people in Bangladesh are very happy. I'm looking forward for the election to inshallah happen. Hopefully a fair election, and whoever the government is, hopefully we can go back to Bangladesh and invest.
You know what's crazy, right, about all of this is taking place?
It has the longest sea beach in the world, Sheikh, Bangladesh.
But yeah, Cox's Bazar.
Cox's Bazar.
Right,
You've been there with to help the Rohingyas and everything.
So I have spent a significant portion of the last 2 years just studying how the Muslims ended up in the messy situation that they're in, right? So in essence, bro, these colonizers, when they came, bro, they just broke the backs of the Muslims. And you know, one of the fundamental things that they did was to turn Muslims against Muslims. Right? So they would find a faction within the community that already the community didn't really like, place them in charge as puppets, make everyone hate them even more, and then go to the guys that are their opposition and fund them, right? And set them up against each other just to keep the Muslims constantly fighting each other. They did this in Jerusalem, right? The Nashashibi family and the Husseini family, they turned them against each other. What they did was they placed the mufti, right, of the city. He used to be from the Nashashibi family. They took him down and placed the rival from the Husseini family as the mufti, and then made the mayor of the city the guy from the other family. Like, bro,
it's always going to be.
This is literally a playbook that the British invented, and they mastered it, and it's so effective that it's actually studied till now in American universities when it comes to military strategy. Bro, they devised the playbook. They made the playbook on how to break the backs of the Muslims, right?
Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. And when they wanted to leave, they made sure that they left divisions in place. Like, for example, right, in Iraq, they left Sunnis in charge of a majority Shia state, right? In Syria, they left the Shi'i in charge of a majorite Sunni state.
Even Iran, prior to this, years ago, Mossadegh's government, what they did with the Shah of Iran and Mossadegh.
Right. So this guy's moving too religious, it was, and then they overthrew him.
Yeah, he was a man of the people. And then they famously, I think, they put like prisoners to protest. Like they literally released prisoners from prison, put them in as fake protesters to
Kissinger.
Overthrow.
Kissinger was in
exactly. And it was the CIA, famously.
Right. So point being is that this is what they have done. Yeah. Right. They've literally just done this, and subhanallah, man, they kept it up until very, very recently. But just suddenly, over the last few months, we're seeing this unity, bro. Like this Pakistan-Bangladesh trade deal. Bro, India's been in the middle of Pakistan-Bangladesh for decades, bro.
And the Pakistan and Saudi Arabia also before that.
It's just going to come to that, right? The Pakistan and Saudi Arabia military pact. And now other countries. Like, bro, do you know how big that is, bro? Like, I we hear news so much. I don't think we actually took a second to digest that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's massive. Pakistan is the strongest.
No, the only Muslim nuclear.
It's the strongest Muslim military, right?
Yeah.
And they have just teamed up with, say what you want about Saudi, bro.
The largest economy of the Middle East.
Say what you want about Saudi. Mecca, Medina is in Saudi. Yeah. Every Muslim's back in Saudi if it gets cracked.
Exactly.
Every Muslim. I'm saying they've just connected and said, bro, we back each other. And on the back of what happened in Qatar, America did nothing. Punch back except the condemnation. That makes everyone think, let's actually let's get a cracking.
That's the good thing about what's happening now is it's drawing Muslims together.
It's drawing Muslims together. Do you know what I'm saying? And the message that I would have right now for our people, right, watching, is please just shut up. Like, just shut up.
And don't mess it up.
Then don't mess it up, man. just shut your mouth.
Don't fall for it.
Yeah. As in, no, what I'm trying to say is that there's stuff happening on a government level, but you don't understand. And I don't understand. We're not in those realms. Like, we just don't know. We don't know what deals are being leveraged, what things need to happen, what for certain things. Just please shut up. Like, just please shut up. Because what people don't realize is that now with the likes of these big technology companies who can now clearly see this being a threat, which is very easy to turn Muslims against Muslims just by showing certain things on their algorithm.
Literally.
Exactly.
Click of a button.
Things that, by the way, have been happening for 2-3 years. Do you know what I'm saying? But now it's...
Why all of a sudden?
Why all of a sudden?
Correct. Just ask.
So now we don't see Gaza. We don't see it. We see other things. And it's just for whatever reason to make Muslims just fight Muslims. Do you know what I'm saying? Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran that, you know, when the ayah in Surah An-Nisa, Shaykh, when Allah Azza wa Jalla talks about when, you know, news of safety and security comes to them, adha will be they spread it amongst themselves. But that's not for you to spread. Like, you don't spread. If only they took it back to Allah, to the Messenger, and to those who were placed in authority amongst them. And the scholars mentioned, this means the scholars, the ulama. Then they would know exactly how to extrapolate a ruling for this. My thing is, this is just not your place. So right now, bro, there's a lot of khair happening. You can't see it, bro. And of course, it's not perfect. The Prophet literally said there's a hadith. But there's a hadith. Hudayfa radiallahu anhu asked the Prophet, he said, Ya Rasulullah, we're in khair right now. Will a time come where there's going to be evil? And the Prophet said, yes. Okay, then Hudayfa said, well, would the good come back? And the Prophet said, yes. Lakin fi dakhan. But and by the hadith, Sahih Muslim, it's authentic hadith. But there will be a taint in the khair. It's like, it won't be pure. It will never come back to being pure again. It will not come back to being pure again. It just won't happen, right? Then will evil come? And the Prophet said yes. And then will good come? Will evil come again? And the Prophet said yes. Now Hudayfa said, describe the evil. What is the evil, Ya Rasulullah? Or rather, the Prophet explained it without I'm asking. He said, du'atun. There will be people that are calling, giving da'wah. Ala abwabi jahannam, at the gates of hellfire. They're literally saying, come to the hellfire. They are calling you to the hellfire. Do you know what I'm saying? Whoever obeys them will fall into the fire. Then the Prophet said, Sifhum lana ya Rasulullah. So Hudayfa said, describe them to me, O Messenger of Allah. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, they will speak the way you speak. They will look the way you look. Your own people, bro. They will say, they will use terms of deen and Islam, and you know, they will look the way you look, but they'll throw you into destruction. And then Hudayfa said, Ya Rasulullah, what do I do if I'm in that situation? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, stay away from every group and every organization. Right? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, abandon these ahzab and these firaq, these different, stay away from them and go back to the root of the tree, which they mention is the Quran and the Sunnah. Bro, you focus on yourself and your deen. There's this khair happening on an international level right now. Like, bro, Saudi and Turkey are working together to rebuild Syria.
Yeah.
This is a celebration, bro. No one saying things are perfect, but just shut up, man. Just shut up.
It's true.
Anyway, I'm really happy about the whole Bangladesh thing.
Alhamdulillah.
Bangali's always brought me khair in my life.
Allahumma barik.
The guy who gave me da'wah was a Bengali.
Allahumma barik.
Wallahi, man.
Beautiful.
Man, I'm grateful to Bengalis. The guy who gave me da'wah was a Bengali.
Allahumma barik.
Yeah.
No, it's tremendous, Sheikh. There's a lot of khair, a lot of things happening. You can just expound on that. Geopolitics globally, the power blocks are shifting.
Mm-hmm.
So we traditionally only hear the Western shift to the East in the context of US-China. Or the US-China-Russia sort of scenario.
Exactly.
But there's a lot more happening, which I think one of them is this Muslim countries starting to work together. Recently, you've seen a formation of a body of Muslim countries under a banner, what is called...
BRICS or?
No, the Muslim country. Yeah.
Which one is this with the...
I think so. Is it OIC?
Which one, Sheikh?
Organizer?
one of these kind of...
one of these...
collaborative
acronyms.
Yes.
But you're seeing that when the Qatari thing happened as well. They got
And when
together.
Saudi didn't renew the contract with the dollar for
Yes.
for oil.
So there's a lot.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't.
Bro, that's big news.
Huge. When they didn't renew that, that's when everything started moving a bit.
No way.
Yeah.
They did not.
No, they accepted yen
Yes.
from the
they
Chinese.
moved from dollar to yen.
Yeah, that was.
Whoa.
Yeah.
When did that happen, Sheikh?
This is, I think, last year or the year before.
I think it's
Was
about
it?
2
Yeah, it
years.
was a while. That was basically the impetus for everything started. That's when the panic started settling in the West.
D8? Developing 8?
No, I think it's this one.
Organization of Islamic Cooperation. 57 member states.
57 member states.
Umbrella for cooperation. Okay.
So Muslims are uniting in some way, and as you said, it's not perfect. And initially, there's a lot of legacy baggage,
So,
but give it time.
It will take
And
time.
It will
It's
take
great
time.
things take
and,
time. Great things
You
take
know,
time.
but certainly there's a shift. There's certainly a shift. They're taking. I mean, if you just look at some of the most recent changes of power in the last 2 years, you know, in Afghanistan, in Syria, etc. Those are things that you would have never imagined.
Yeah.
Some time back, and a lot of contribution from fellow Muslim states.
Alhamdulillah.
I think as an
They were
ummah,
instrumental in that shift.
we need to think about also risk. You know, that's our risk appetite needs to increase as well sometimes. Because with these things like Syria and stuff, that a lot of times, for example, with the Halliburton thing that you mentioned
Yeah.
previously, tell any Muslim at that time, they would have said, no way, I wouldn't invest in
Yes.
Iraq, you know, just after it basically was demolished. But the Westerners know, this is the time to invest. This is...
So the time to make money is when there's blood on the streets.
Exactly.
And I read another saying that, the fortunes are made when countries are being rebuilt. Oh, fortunes are made and lost
صح.
under rebuild.
صح.
So
So we need to be, we need
to
to be
your
involved.
point,
Yeah.
right now it's more institutional
Yep.
or governmental, not
Yes.
even
Then it will be
institutional. it's
privatized.
more-
Yes.
Then I think it would become institutional.
Yep.
And then
Yeah,
it will
yeah.
become more
Exactly.
accessible.
Accessible for private individuals and
But
companies. Yeah.
yeah,
Mashallah.
inshallah.
I think
Checking out this yen thing.
Yeah. I think we're out of time, the brother mentioned. You saw it?
Saying speculation.
No.
Yeah?
This
No,
is done already.
trading,
Yeah, the transaction is done
in,
already.
I think even Russia does it, right? They're trading
Because of the
ruble
sanctions.
for this thing. So, Sheikh, I think we just spoke of on this last week.
Yeah.
The days of the dollar are over.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think, Sheikh, tell everyone to watch the Singapore Prime Minister's. Did you watch it, Sheikh? I'll send it to the
send
group,
it to
actually.
We'll put the link below.
Yeah.
put the link
I
below,
think everybody
inshallah.
should watch it. He articulates it in a very good way.
Barakallah feek, man.
Post-American world order. That's what he calls it.
Oof.
Singapore's Prime Minister last week.
I wanted to ask you, you said that is the financial hub of the world.
Singapore, yeah.
I guess
Yes, the governance, the regulation, yes.
greater than New York? Like,
I think so. What do you think, Sheikh?
I don't think it's greater than New York, but it's certainly in the top few.
Depending on what sector.
Perhaps different
Yes,
sectors.
yes.
I've heard a stat that overwhelmingly billionaires are moving to Singapore recently. This is, look, 9th of June 2024.
can I see this?
Yeah.
Is it true that Saudi Arabia has decided not to renew the 50-year petrodollar agreement with the USA?
Yeah, that's it, the name, petrodollar.
Once this agreement expires on 9th June 24, if this is true, how will this impact the USA and its USD 800 billions per year military budget?
It's that complex they have, the US. It's
So what we will do is we'll leave you on a cliffhanger.
exactly. Find out on the next one.
Guys, man, look, it's your duty to subscribe, bro. Just keeping it real with you, man. This is such a, I don't know how you guys, I found this a very interesting conversation.
Same.
These
Learned
conversations
so much.
are not being had.
صح.
Period.
صح.
Do you know what I'm saying? So make sure you subscribe and make sure you share this, bro. Like each and every single one of you, in my humble opinion, has a duty to share this on your WhatsApp, bro. Share this on your WhatsApp story, share it on your Instagram story, share it on your LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn, you might get in trouble. But then again,
If you can share their
it has to be
propaganda,
paid.
why not?
Say that again?
If you can share their propaganda,
Yeah, but the thing is,
Just
then they're
do
going to
it-
be
just do it
worried that
nice-
their
just do
boss
it in
is
a
going to
nice
be
way.
like, "Why are you showing?" But it hurts, right? It has to hurt. Right?
Have to take some pain.
You have to take
for
some
change.
pain.
That's it.
Look, my point is share, because this podcast, inshallah ta'ala, is going to hopefully really open up a lot of eyes, and we're going to be
Inshallah.
serving you, inshallah, in bringing some of the best experts from, different countries, government officials, economic experts, CEOs of massive companies, inshallah.
We have a great lineup, Sheikh.
We have a great
Inshallah.
lineup, inshallah. He doesn't know it yet, but the CEO of Kareem is going to be here soon.
Allahumma
Mashallah,
barik.
Brother Mudassir.
Allahumma barik.
And, Muhammad Al-Abar. From,
subhanallah,
Iman.
I was gonna
He doesn't
mention
know it yet, but he's going to be here soon, inshallah.
Show it to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Send it to him. We would love to honor him, inshallah, as a guest of ours. There's a lot of people that don't know, but they're going to be in the country,
That's it.
inshallah ta'ala. With that said, you might be here.
Exactly.
Big fintech startup. You know what I'm saying? Ebrahim, I invest in you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
With that said, may Allah Azza wa Jalla bless you guys في الدنيا والآخرة. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Wa alaikum salam.
Find that, man.
That was
Really nice.